Chris, how long were you in the NFL?
I was blessed and fortunate to play for 10 years.
10 years?
Yes, I got 10 years.
Nice, give them a round of applause, guys. That's awesome.
3 different teams.
What teams?
I was with the Seattle Seahawks for the longest, 6 years, and Chicago Bears for 2, and finished my career with the Tennessee Titans.
What was your favorite?
Seattle.
Okay, cool. Nice, nice. Wow, some people like Seattle in here. I like this. How do you stay super disciplined, ultra healthy, and consistently outpace others?
I think my discipline started early on in life as a kid growing up on a farm in Mississippi. My family had about 1,000 acres of cotton and soybeans, and so my granddad couldn't afford to buy the chemicals and things you need to kill the weeds, and so he would give 6 of us a hoe and a sharpener to go out and chop all the weeds around the cotton. And so when you look at that kind of those rows, they go forever and ever, and you're trying to figure out, how do I do this? And so you start to figure out strategies. And I had to figure out a lot of strategies to get to the end of these rows. And thinking about 1,000 acres over a summer, it takes a really long time to do that. And so I think my discipline came from that. And then it carried over into sports. And my granddad was always a firm believer of, hard work is going to take you so much further in life. And so with the farming strategies and then taking that into the sports side of things, I think it really set me up to stay disciplined and stay ahead of the curve on a lot of things. Because one thing, I didn't want to go back to the farm, so.
That's some hard work, though.
Absolutely.
I used to work for my father's company. That was fun, though. Taught me a lot of lessons. What do you invest in, and what business holdings do you focus your energy on?
I invest in a lot. I invest in real estate. I also have a distribution company. We distribute GE capital equipment to Essential Healthcare. But the thing that really takes up a lot of my time right now is a psychometric company that I developed over the last 4 years, taking language, audio, video, and processing it and looking at personality and behaviors based off people's words. And so we can give you about 70 plus data points on who you are as a person, from personality behaviors to thinking style, stress tolerance, with only using 350 words. And so a lot of my why of doing this and building this platform was when you start to look at the number of athletes who are broke or divorced within 5 years of leaving the league, I wanted to debunk that theory and focus on how do you take an athlete's skill set and show them that it's transferable. And I believe that the way to do that is to help them identify, who they are as a person. We're not taught that because we've been told that we're the best thing since sliced bread for a long time. And so how do we take those skill sets and help them transfer into different environments? And so, using this platform is a way to do that, and help an organization that has a lot of resources available for athletes, it helped them understand them faster, because as an athlete with walls up, it's hard to tell someone, what your needs are and how to advocate for yourself. And so this tool is helping teams without, with bypassing a lot of the Likert scale assessments, but using their own words and giving them the ability to put the resources in place for an athlete and how they're going to fit in the culture and the environment. And as you're planting those seeds, hopefully those guys and gals starting to learn that, my skills are transferable. I am a D communicator. I get stressed when it comes to test taking. I didn't know that. Now, how do I start to develop tools around these areas to help me succeed?
So you video, audio tape somebody's face, and it spits out the results?
No, so what we do is like I say, you do a press conference. So like this conversation here, we can record my words, and then we can take that and filter through a series of language models that we've built and designed. And from that language models, then you can get to, what are the different frameworks we want to look at from a personality, and how do you communicate with someone else, overlaying a coach and a player and saying, hey, here's where you're going to miss from a communication standpoint.
Every company in this room needs that for their employees.
Well, we're getting there. We're building a very strong platform right now to go corporate with it.
Awesome. What visualization, affirmation, goal setting rituals and strategies do you use to be a top 0.1%er? I've had to learn how to really do that well from a visualization standpoint and goal setting, because I was a very visual person. And so I would think these things, but I never would write them down. And so once I started to really understand how the brain works and how, the positive affirmation and how do I visually see it written down from my own handwriting, I think that really changed how I start to move through different areas of my life, because I was constantly, set up not to go back to the farm life. And so I kept telling myself, even as a first round draft pick, I can't get hurt.
oh, don't get hurt. But what happens is you're telling yourself these negative things, and then you end up getting hurt. And so, as I started to really realize, the positive side is really important, it took me back to, okay, how do I set these goals, and how do I look at these goals over a 2-month, a 3-month, and then also be disciplined and stay on top of those things.
That's awesome. What's the $1 million lesson that you learned from being a pro athlete?
It's actually a lot what these guys have said. I remember my rookie year, again, walking in as a big-time hotshot first-round draft pick. We had a guy, Chris Gray, who was a 14-year vet, sitting next to me, and he said to me, hey, you need to get to know everybody in this building, from the groundskeepers to the janitors, because those are going to be the people that when you're done, when you're sitting here 10, 14 years down the road, that you're going to need to rely on. And relationship was always important to me, but to hear someone actually tell me that as a, I'm still sitting in the middle of this high of being a first-round draft pick, and to hear someone break it down to that level, it has always stuck with me. And I think that, now that I'm doing what I'm doing and being able to rely on the resources around me, from psychologists to IO psychologists and to GMs, to vet out my product, to be in the sport and have boots on the ground, and then also to be able to lean on a lot of those people to make sure that the product is something that is going to be valuable for them. It's been, tremendous for me.
That's awesome. What's the most costly financial mistake you've made or you've seen other pro athletes make?
Family. Early on, investing in family projects that without the knowledge of, what's going to be the return, and is the person on the other side of the table, do they know what they're doing? Or can I trust them that they're doing the right things with the money? I didn't have a vetting process early on. There's some mistakes that I made. I didn't have that vetting process. And I quickly, surrounded myself with the right people, quickly started to figure out how to, vet these different type of deals.
Last question. If somebody wants to be a top 0.1%er in the field, how can they outcompete everybody around them?
I would say self-awareness. I think self-awareness is really huge. When you understand your strengths and you're willing to put people around you to build you up and make you stronger, and not be afraid that someone's going to take what you have or set you down a wrong path. When you can become very self-aware of what your strengths are, so that you can focus on, whether it's the leadership aspect of things, you can really set yourself up for success when you become, really aware of how do you navigate these different areas of life, and know that you don't have all the answers, and be okay with knowing that you don't have all the answers.
Awesome. You guys give Chris a round of applause. Thank you.